computer. All right, so now we are on tape. So today we've decided to follow the US yen and gold or gold as a news item trades. This is for this recording. You guys obviously on your own can trade anything you want, but I'm going to be just concentrating on these two.
Okay.
Today the market has been really up and down, and especially in the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
I had made actually went and made 2.5%, almost 3%, and then I gave everything back because I was
All
playing
right.
around with the system,
Okay.
and the market was, fluctuating like anything.
Okay. Based on that, what did you make your 2.5% on? Was it?
The US Swiss was going down strong, so I made 20 pips on that, and that gave me another $2,000, maybe $3,000.
Okay.
2,000 actually. Yeah. So that was at 3,300 and bounced up to 5,300, which was like about 2.25%.
Right.
And I should have stopped there, but of course, me in my infinite wisdom, didn't do that. So then I went and tried the pound yen, but the pound yen started bouncing up and down, and it chopped me up.
Okay.
I shouldn't have traded. Like I said, I should have stopped right at that point because I had made my goal.
Right.
So right now the yen pairs seem to be moving down, but as you can see, it's choppy. If I look at my strength meter, the yen is the strongest currency. And Aussie, New Zealand, all of this is, the reason we're following the USD CAD because the USD is also weak.
Right.
So, USD yen. And then gold is gold. That's Santiago's favorite currency, so we're looking at it.
Yeah, it's been in a tight range, so it's
Yeah, so if you look at the 1 hour, you can see it's in a box. So it's a ranging market. And we're expecting it to pop out sometime here, right?
Expecting it to pop lower or high?
Everything points high, right?
right. Everything's pointing that it wants to go long.
It's
just
just
came off a big move up. So
Yeah, so it's just the H1 needs to turn around for the long move. But for this, the purpose today, we're trading on the 5-minute.
Yeah.
And the 5-minute, has room on both sides of the box. It's right in the middle of the box.
Yeah.
right.
Now the US yen, has been going down steadily all day.
Yeah.
Actually, ever since yesterday. And it's stalled out right now. So if I draw the box on this one, this is the range it's playing in right now. And expecting it to move lower. But it could be that the news takes it higher and then comes down. So we'll see. The long-term indicator is mixed. The current indicator is saying short, but the long-term is mixed. And gold is also mixed. Right? There's no direction. Look at the 1 hour. 1 hour says it wants to go long. And this is what I call the weekly direction versus the weekly background. And the daily wants to go short. So it's that's why it's in a range. excuse me, because it doesn't, the backgrounds don't agree. They're not the same color. When it was the same color, look what it did. Of course, when it spikes, right? There's no indicators don't matter at that point.
Okay.
I'm going to put the charts on the 5 minute and then we'll follow this on the 5 minute. There's 6.5 minutes left for the news. Did you trade this morning, John? John. Hello, John, you there?
Hold on, I've got internet problems. I'm in gold since about 400 years ago, short.
Okay.
And at the moment, it's just starting to turn down again. What did I say? Hold on. I'm just at, I'm literally at break even here at the moment on gold. So
Yeah, you're right in the middle of the range.
yeah, I took the trade at 8:48 market watch. I've been away from the computer for the last few hours. So.
Okay. So you took the trade somewhere here.
Yeah, I took it ages ago.
Yeah.
8:48.
What lot size are you trading?
1 sec. Make sure I have that correct time. 8:48 on the Fitmo market watch. Yeah.
Yeah. What lot size are you trading?
I put 10 lots on it.
Oh my God.
I know, yeah.
You didn't blow your account?
No. I already blew the account last week, so there's no need to worry about that.
Oh, okay. I came to blowing it up yesterday. I was within like $200 of blowing it up.
Only time I blow up the account is when I have too many trades on at the same time.
Yeah.
No other, that's the only way I do it. I do it every time.
Yeah. And I'm too aggressive. So I keep saying I need to lower my lot size and I don't.
Yeah. I'm no discipline. I'm totally ill-disciplined. No discipline. But it will come. I used to be disciplined. There used to be a lot of things.
Yeah. We changed the system completely. So it takes time to get used to it.
Right, okay. So you've got the 4-hour direction and the 1-hour direction on the US yen.
Correct.
On the 5-minute chart.
Yeah. Same thing on this one. And the direction is basically the background. With the background. That's the 4-hour and that's the 1 hour. The background. That's what I mean by direction. So when it's the 4-hour direction, that's the 1 hour stochastic on top of that. And if it's a 1 hour direction, it's a 15-minute stochastic on top of that. So I got 3 time frames plus the current time frame.
Run that past me again. You've got 3 time. Can you explain 3 time frames plus the current time?
So this is the 4-hour and 1 hour. This is a 1 hour and 15-minute, right? And then the current time frame, 5 minute. So I got 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, and 4 hour stochastics.
Okay.
And the white bar just signifies that both the 5 and 13 on the current time frame is below the 50, and the green just signifies that it's above 50 for both of them. So it just lets me know visually when I'm in trend on the current time frame. Okay, you got 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes to the news.
Yeah.
Looks like a dollar already moving. What is the yen pairs? Okay, gold moving down, so we should be in good shape there.
Yeah, just up. I went into profit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just moving my stop to break even on gold. And it'll probably go back and take me up, but I should be closing it anyways. On the best, I'm up 3 pips. I'll leave it alone.
Well, since you already blown the account, why not risk it?
I just want to try and get into some kind of good habits. Yeah. Taking
5
off break even.
seconds to, here comes the news.
And there she goes after I just closing it.
There you go. ADP employment change is 296 versus 148, so the dollar got strong.
I just did myself out of 70 odd pips by doing the right thing on gold.
Yeah,
What can I tell you? I think gold will tank.
I mean, yeah, but
I mean, that should be very good for the dollar, right?
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I mean, the initial jerkiness is going to be there. You gotta just wait it out.
Yeah. Let's see if it does a 50% pullback. It's already there.
Yeah, it's already done the 50%. We still have a news item at 10 o'clock, so
Okay, I'm gonna take a fresh trade on gold here. Short, obviously.
and then gold came all the way back.
What was that?
Did you take any trades, Santiago?
No, I haven't taken anything. I was thinking of going short gold, but I'll let the 1 minute recycle.
Mhm. Are you waiting for a full recycle, or is this good enough for you?
No, that's good.
All right, going short. And going long on the yen, USD yen. Okay, let's mark the targets. We stay low. And somewhere in between here. Let's see what it does. Dollar still fluctuating.
When we started up today, you were looking for potential longs on the US yen, is that right?
Well, what I was saying is that it's between, it's ranging right here, and whatever way it breaks, it'll
All
go.
right, okay, yeah, I remember, yeah.
And it broke above the rectangle, so I think it's going to go long, right?
Okay, just give me a minute, guys, please.
Yeah. Whereas gold broke out of the rectangle, came back in, is trying to come back out. So it should be a good trade to the south side. We just have to wait and see. Of course, nothing behaves as it should, so interesting. Yeah, they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah. I just added to the gold trade short.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, market is still unsettled.
Uh,
Don't
like
What's that? Go ahead.
I said I don't like how you got that big 5-minute bar, and
Yeah.
but the next 5 minute hasn't been able to cover that gap.
Right. You look at the 5-minute chart, you're talking about this being able to come down here.
Yeah, and I would like it to cover, at least cover most of that.
Right.
It's having a hard time doing that, so
Same thing on this one. So that's why I said the market still looks unsettled.
Right.
Could be they're still releasing the verbiage, right? One minute doing another cycle. The
All
1
right.
minute bar.
Yeah, this 1 minute cycle should let us know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. And you can see all the stochastics are to the downside. It's just the 5 minutes kissing the bottom. Take a quick look at the strength meter. Dollar went up a little bit. Let's see.
Don't like.
Yeah, I did a fake turnover. So
Come on. Still gonna wait for this 1 minute to cycle down. Let's see what
yeah,
happens. All right, let's see what it's gonna do. It needs to finish strong.
I mean the 1 minute was moving down, but the price is not moving at all.
Right.
There it comes. I'm going to add on.
Gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's not ideal.
Yeah, just too many variables right now
Yeah.
to add on.
Aggressive entry.
Okay.
Wonder why the US yen is not moving. The USD is strong, then
It's because the yen is strong also.
yeah. So they both got strong.
So maybe like a Aussie dollar or New Zealand dollar might be a better fit.
Yeah. So wait for a cycle. Look at that. Dollar's getting weak. What's the New Zealand dollar doing? Come on. Yeah. Pound dollar should be moving down too. Everything's mixed.
Yeah, it's just a lot of news coming out today, so you just don't
Yeah.
know how they still want to play around before they move it.
All right. Look at that. All right, I'm going to get out of US yen. Not a very good trade. Not very good. Steve Spurrier used to say. Not good. All right. Well, the Aussie, well, Aussie yen should be coming down, right? Look at that. Yeah.
Excuse
Maybe
me.
go short on the Aussie yen. Ah, it's right at the pivot. Dang it. Ah, well. Easy come, easy go.
Well, it's about 17 pips away from the weekly open,
Yeah.
so it may retouch that.
In the low.
No, the opening of the week.
Yeah. Things right there. Okay. I mean, gold's done too many cycles on the 1 minute for it not to move down. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, we've got FOMC later.
Yeah, we have ISM at 10.
Okay.
So there's another news item in an hour and a half.
Okay. And then we have non-firm on Friday. So
Correct.
okay. All right. The pound yen seems to be able to keep going down.
Well, I took the Aussie yen because the Aussie is the weakest and yen is the strongest.
Right.
And I'm up 3 pips on that, or 2.5 pips. If I took the pound yen, let's see what is the pound yen. The pound yen in the long term, the daily hasn't come down below the 50 yet. Whereas on the Aussie yen, I think it's below the 50 already. Yeah, no. I don't know. I mean, probably the pound yen was a better trade. Yeah, because the weekly is already down here. I think I'm a little gun shy on this, but it's chopped me up quite a bit.
We were looking at the pound yen yesterday on the 4-hour, expecting it to retrace,
Yeah, I
which
did.
it didn't. It just went sideways. So there's still a retrace in the offing.
Yeah.
No, it could go down to the weekly mid support before it retraces. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows?
It's got the weekly pivot that it has to, or doesn't have to, but should test.
Yeah.
It's already breached the previous day low, so it has tested it multiple times today.
All right, it looks like gold is going to try to make a move.
Well, 5 minute is still,
Yeah, 5 minutes trying to give like a small cycle.
yeah.
This is going down.
All right. Here we go. Take another trade.
Okay, now we're getting places with gold.
Where's my Aussie yen doing?
Aussie yen is pulling back hard. I don't know why.
US yen is pulling back hard as well. That's why.
The dollar is getting strong again.
Yeah.
Come on, dollar, make up your mind. It's really having a tough time with the bottom of the triangle here. I mean, the rectangle triangle. Need to wake up. Maybe waiting for US market to open at 9.
What do you mean the US market to open? What do you mean by US market open?
Stock market. Stock market will open at 9 for trading, right?
I thought
So,
it was 9:30.
okay.
I'm not sure.
I think the volume comes in at 9.
Okay. All right.
Uh, just have to wait and see. With good news on dollar like that, this market is stalling. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Kinds of manipulation going on.
It's just it's got so much stuff going on today, right?
Yeah.
You got people speaking, and all the news are spread out.
Yeah.
They're not back to back. I think they're still positioning. People are still positioning themselves.
Right. Well, gold wants to go down. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Do another add-on here. I'll go with the 1 minute cycle. Of course, the 1 minute doesn't follow through.
Yeah, I think that's a telltale sign that it's
Trying to
fish.
turn.
It's either probably trying to come back into that range, or maybe do a stop hunt towards the top.
Right.
It's a possibility. This thing.
Even the Aussie yen is not following through. It did a turn and then went up. It's
Right.
pulling the 5 minute with it.
Remember the Aussie increased their rates yesterday.
Yeah.
Or the day before, and it got strong, and it got weak.
Right.
You figure eventually it's gonna get strong again. An increase in rates.
Gave it enough time to do something and hasn't done anything. Okay. Let's go back to the Aussie dollar or New Zealand dollar. Take a look at that. Should have stayed with the New Zealand dollar. Come on, you only got 20 more pips to go. Let's get lower than this. That low is 201,013. It's not too far from there. Ah, jeez, retracted.
Yeah, let's see.
Lighten the load here. It goes so quickly from being 40 pips up to 20, 30 pips down.
That's the problem with gold.
Yeah, so gold is going having a really tough time at the bottom of the rectangle.
I have a feeling this is it could be waiting until the top of the hour.
Yeah. You mean so you have another 10 minutes of this crap going up and down, up and down? Oh my God. USD yen has just flipped over to the downside again. It was flipping back and look at that. It's going back and forth on the 4 hour. So it's right on that cusp. Gold is giving you a warning sign that it's trying to turn up. These blue bars here.
Yeah. Back in a minute.
Yeah. Come on, come on. Just need one good spike. Do you take any trades, Santiago, or you still waiting?
Yeah, I took the gold short.
Okay. So now you're suffering like any of us.
Yeah.
It's really trying to come down, but it doesn't want to.
My Aussie yen. I also took the Aussie yen short earlier.
Okay.
It's finally in profit. Had the little move up.
Oh yeah. And go back in. And you're taking to the opening of the week.
Yeah. Once if it gets down there, then I'll reevaluate to see what's happening.
So I'll just put the profit here and we'll see what it does. Come on, gold.
Yeah, gold just not acting at all. It's waiting on something.
It's the dollar. That's the problem. And decided what it wants to do. Normally, I don't like to trade when the weekly is not supporting the move. Then the weekly and daily are in conflict.
Mhm.
But this is the long-term view.
Right.
The short-term view, the 1 hour and 4 hour, or the 4 hour and daily are in sync, so it should go down, which is what it's doing. Same thing here. I mean, everything's in sync. Why isn't it moving down? I mean, inside bar, inside bar, inside bar. This is now the battleground is right here.
Yeah, now it's trying to cycle up.
Yeah. Okay, just broke outside. It's back inside. Dollars all over the place.
At
Okay,
least,
so Aussie yen is moving properly.
yeah. And it looks like the Aussie yen and gold kind of move against each other,
Yeah.
opposite each other. Come on, Aussie yen. Yeah, it's also hesitating now.
Yes, Every time we've gone together in the US session, nothing moves. It's only after 10 o'clock that things start moving. Is that a testament to our patience? We're not being patient enough.
Let's see
I'm
what is
out of my
going.
gold.
And looks like the 15's trying to cycle up. 5 is trying to give a change in direction.
Yeah.
And then everything starts to cycle back downwards.
Sorry, we can always get back in, but
Right.
this is
Take the chance.
the 5 is telling me that it's doing a change in direction.
Right. Uh, all right. Took a long on that 5-minute change in direction.
On gold,
Yeah. Let's see if at least
see
we
what
get a
it
put.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since it doesn't want to go down, maybe it wants to go up. I know it was a little too early, but I think I jumped the gun.
Yeah.
Didn't
It's
let the 1 minute.
undecided, what it wants to do.
Right. No, but usually I let the 1 minute recycle first, and then
Oh, okay. I see. So
I didn't let it do that.
I'll wait for you. I mean, the 5 minute is also stronger, and the 15 is pulling the 15 with it.
Right.
So it should go long. Now even the Aussie yen is retreating. What a pain in the arse.
Okay, come on. Let this 1 minute cycle up. Maybe we can add on.
Yeah, weekly can't decide what it wants to do. The Aussie yen. It's doing an inverse bar, so it should come down. Right. That's the weekly bar.
Yes. This thing don't move up. I think it might be time to leave gold alone till it figures itself out. Mm-mm. This thing is not acting right.
Might be it's time to leave the market alone anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's the Dow, John? Oh, nowhere.
All right, come on. Let's see if it can cycle up and see where it goes. Yeah. Yeah, the 1 minute is giving a change in direction to the downside. And the 5 minutes trying to cycle back down.
Yeah.
It's sideways.
Chopping people up, left or right.
Oh,
Chopping
big
wood.
time. Big time, yeah, big time. Back at 5, getting a coffee.
Okay. Let's see, get a continuation trade on the 1 minute or a trend trade to the downside.
Well, for that, the 5 minute has to follow through.
Right. 5 minute have to follow through. It's like the yen pairs may be cycling back up. If that's the case, maybe gold will fall.
And gold had a huge move yesterday.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I don't want to sell. Well, okay, let's see.
Looks like a long in gold.
Looks
Yeah,
like there won't be much happening here until the news at the top of the hour.
Yeah. It's another 15 minutes away. So
Yeah, ISM services PMI. I never understand the description here. Level of diffusion index based on surveyed purchasing managers, excluding the manufacturing industry.
who knows?
Level of a diffusion index based.
They use terminology that makes only sense to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's setting up pretty good to go long.
Yeah.
1 hour starting to swing up.
Yep.
Maybe it finally gets to go in the original direction long.
It's on sweet time, didn't it?
It'd be nice if it goes pretty deep long. Get to the full 1 hour swing up. That might be a good 100 pips move. But I probably won't do that until after the news.
Yeah. Probably not till FOMC actually.
Yeah. At least you can do is go do a stop hunt to the top.
Break it down.
There we go. Come on, baby.
Needs to push though. It's not pushing.
15 is strong, so it might catch up to it. All right.
Come on, come on. You can do it.
Mm.
When gold moves this slowly, market is in trouble. 15-minute is not a change of direction. 5-minute is change of direction. 1 minute is going to give a continuation on the trend trade. The 1 hour needs to come out of its shell, and that should be the push. Go north. Come on. There it goes. You can see the 1 hour is coming out, starting its trend. 1 minute gave a continuation on trend trade. 5-minute is strong. 15-minute is pointing up. They are moving together. And I'm about to be taken out. Keep going, keep going. You got 4 more pips to go. There we go. So I got taken out for 60 pips. So that, after the losses I took on gold, that was a successful 60 pip trade. And the shorts were not bad because this was all red. It's just that I should have exited when this started to turn blue, and I didn't. It was a little late.
Well, all the hesitation was a red flag.
Correct.
Nothing was following through.
Correct. So I should have taken it for a few pips profit, whatever I had over here, but I
Right.
didn't. So I sat through the losses and then got in here for 60 pips. And I should have taken multiple lots. I only took 2 lots.
Right.
So this is basically a break-even day for gold. Now, Aussie yen, all the yen pairs have basically not moved. So I'm going to get out of Aussie yen, given it enough time for it to be in profit, and it hasn't done anything. And the reason for that, and I'm just talking out loud here, is that the weekly and daily are out of sync.
Right.
So, and I'm looking at a 1 hour chart. So the weekly and daily have a significance for the 1 hour chart. If I had looked at the 5-minute, the exit would have been here somewhere where I took it, but there was profit in it. So it becomes critical to know which time frame you're going to be trading, and then where your direction's coming from. Because the 5 minute has the H1 and H4 giving you direction. So this was a short all day today. So the actual short after the euro open was here when it got into trend, and the exit being here, it only gave you only 46 pips, but enough opportunity to add on if you so wanted. So I know you're still in the trade, Santiago, but do you want to talk through some of these pairs just through the top-down analysis? Or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Okay. So let's take it in sequence, right? So we're going to start with the H4 time frame. And the H4 has the weekly and daily as directions. So the first thing to look at is if these are in sync or out of sync, right? So that's for the H4 direction. But if you're looking at it over here and saying, okay, the daily is moving down, but it hasn't crossed the 50, so it's not a strong trend. So let's say we ignore this trade. Then we look at the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is similar, but they are both on the same side. It's just giving a warning sign that it's trying to turn. So this would have been a entry sign right here where everything was above the 50. Okay, so let's mark that as our starting point. And as you can see, the Aussie dollar was peaking or troughing over here. Now we can drop it down to the H1. And on the H1, we had the peaks, multiple peaks here. So you can see that when it got into sync here, but it wasn't in sync on the bottom, on the lower time frames. It got into sync over here. And you can see the 1 hour stochastic was coming out. So you can take an entry here, or you can refine it further on a lower time frame. If you go to the 15, and you say, okay, what is happening on the 15? On the 15, I need initially a change of direction, which happens right here, and then a trend trade on the 5 minute. So if I drop it down on the 5 minute from here, anything after that, the trend trade on the 5 minute would be an entry. So the entry came right here. This is the trend trade. Everything is above 50. So this becomes my entry. Now this is the Asian session. Right now I'm ignoring the fact that I'm in an Asian session. So mark my trade. That's my entry. That's my stop. And it doesn't come down. It comes down, but it doesn't take me out. And then it just gives me the trade, right? So where is the exit on this? Now, remember where we came in on. We came in on the 1 hour where it was troughing. So the exit would be on the 1 hour. This is an early warning entry exit, right? Because you got a red bar and a blue bar. The true exit is over here, right here. And it's not an efficient exit, but it still gives you 50 pips. This is on a pair that doesn't move that much. If you were using pivots as a target, you could have used this as a target, and that would have given you 56 pips. So this is basically the system, the way you look at it. So you go from the higher time frame, which would be the 4 hour. You want to make sure or ensure that you have the weekly and daily on the same side of the 50. Now here the daily was below the 50, and it was saying that it wanted to turn up. The weekly was above the 50, right? So these are early warning signs that there's a turnaround taking place. So just wait for a sequence on the 4 hour. Okay, that's what that means. So let's go to a different pair. Let's go to CAD yen. What we see on CAD yen is that the weekly is short and the daily is long. So on the 4 hour, this is not something that we'll be looking at. So let's move on. And I'm talking holistically now. Same thing with the Swiss yen. Euro Aussie is short. You can see. So beginning of the week, Euro Aussie was short. The peak had happened here, but the beginning of the week happened here. Okay. So now we go to the H1. And H1, we are looking for a peak on the top, which happened here. Right there. There's the peak. And everything is short, right? The 4 hour and daily and the daily and weekly, everything's telling you to go short. So you're in good shape there. Now let's go to the 15-minute. And now we're looking for a change of direction after we got everything on the higher time frames. It actually gave you a trend trade right here. So you can say, okay, I can take a trade on the 15-minute and not wait for the 5. Let's see what the 5 was doing. 5 was also giving you an entry at the same time. So entry, stop loss, 1 hour, 1 hour. This is a warning sign. This is the exit here. So this exit could give you 251 pips. Now there's an add-on here, there's an add-on here. That's up to you. This is a long bar. I wouldn't take an add-on, but this is definitely an add-on. And if I took that add-on, which was here, with this exit, that'll give me 172. So that's 420 pips in 2 days. Okay. Let's go to the next one. EuroCAD, 4 hour. EuroCAD 4 hour. This is a warning sign, it's turning long. Here's your peak that when it happened. Right there, or trough, as whatever you want to call it. Gets into sync here. Where you can take the early warning sign of a trough, drop it down to the 1 and look for an ideal condition. That means we're looking for a change in direction. So where does the change in direction happen? This is not a good sign. That's too far apart. This is a better change in direction right here. Where they're moving closer and above, right? So either here or there, right? Now we can go down to the 15. We're still strong, right? This is still early warning, but this is strong. Go to the 15-minute and look for a trend, which happens on this bar right there, or this bar, one of these two bars. Let's do the later bar. Or if you want to take this one, then you have to wait for an entry on the 5. And the 5-minute gave you a trend trade here. And so your entry became here. Your stop loss is here. Go to the H1. Where's your exit? You're still in the trade. There is no exit. And if you're still in the trade, you have 65 in profit. Now, add-on entries, add-on opportunity, one here, there's one here, and there's one here, and this is a pseudo add-on right here, where the 60 crosses. But the ideal add-ons are this one and this one. And the reason is because then the daily and weekly are in the same direction. So if I had to, on those add-ons, I would have another 38 pips and 53, so another 91 plus 165, 256 pips. So I hope this is giving you the gist of the system. John, do you have any questions? Are you here? John? Guess he abandoned us. All right. Next pair, Euro Yen. Euro Yen, no, right? I know this is moving up, but the weekly and daily are not in sync, so we ignore this. Go to Euro NZD, another short right away. Beginning of the week. This is at the bottom, so this is not going to go too far, right? Because the cycle is almost over, so you wait for a recycle or another peak over here.
Right.
And this is a small peak, so that is a good one to look at. You won't know that till this bar. So you go to H1. And now you're looking for a change on direction or a trend trade. And change in direction happens on this bar. The peak happened here, but this is a change in direction. Everything is still strong. Go to the 15-minute. And this is a trend, but you have to wait for a new trend. Now here the 13 is moving up, the 5 is moving down, so this is not a good transition point. This is the transition point here, and this is the next day. So you have to wait for the spreads and everything to pan out, and then your signal comes over here, and this is the trend. If you drop it on the 5, the 5 is also giving you an entry right away. And so this is your entry. This is your stop loss. Back to the H1. And your exit is over here. And that's a 101 pip trade. Now you had add-ons opportunity, one add-on opportunity, which didn't give you a netted zero, right? Basically nothing. So 101 pips on this one. Euro NZD 101 means nothing, but this was something that we looked at that wouldn't go too far because the cycle was almost over. Okay. Look at the euro dollar. Euro dollar opposite direction. Move on. Pound Aussie. Early warning that it's going to go south, and you just had a peak. It's worth looking at. So you probably had it over here, and now the 4-hour is below the 50, so that is a good signal. Now you can go to the H1. Now you're looking for a change in direction, but that had already happened over here. So you've got to wait for a new peak, which happened here. And you won't know till here. This is still in the early warning, but here it's good. So you go to the 15-minute. What are we waiting on? We are waiting on trend trade or a change in direction, which happens here. And everything's still looking good, right? So 5-minute entry was, now this one didn't come in at the same time as the 15, so here's your entry. And there's the entry price. There's the stop loss, back to the H1. And you're wondering, why am I taking H1? Because I'm playing the H1 cycle. So The exit on this one happened here. This is basically a break-even trade, 14 pips. And then I get another chance over here. And I can look at the 4-hour just to make sure. Yeah, 4-hour peak. Everything is good. So H1 gave me another chance. Go to the 15. The 15 gave me an entry here. And go back to the 5. See if I can get a better entry. The actual good entry came here. And that's because it went through a lot of cycles, but it didn't really give me a proper entry. I mean, 13 is moving in opposite direction. This is moving up. When this happened, this could have been an entry right here. Okay, so let's say we took that entry. And here's the entry. Here's the stop loss back on the H1. And my exit happened over here. Not a very efficient exit again, but still gave you 130 pips. This was news. So anytime after the news, you can see it's stalling, you can say, okay, I'll just take it at the pivot. 150 pips. Okay. Hope this is making sense. Let's go to the pound CAD. Look at the 4-hour. No trade till here. Okay, let's say we look at this bar. All right, now the peak happened here, like that, the trough. So this would have been the look point. Go to H1. H1, I'm waiting for a change in direction or trend, which happens here today in the European session. 15-minute. Just for a note of education, I did take this trade, but I was not very patient with it, and I got out with a few pips loss. But if I had played it properly, this was my 15-minute entry, and then 5-minute. I kind of refined it further to here. And there's my entry. There's my stop loss. Go back to H1. And I'm still in the trade. And that way I'm up 35 pips. And it's giving me another entry here to go long. So this was not the full 4-hour cycle. It was a mini cycle on the 4-hour, and I still got 35 pips out of it. So it's just showing you how different ways you can trade the system. So let's go to the pound Swiss. Pound Swiss became a warning sign over here. And when you get this warning sign, you're looking for a peak on the 4, which happens over here. You can see that. So you can say, okay, next 4-hour bar. That's when you can see the peak. Go to the H1. H1, I'm waiting on a change of direction, which happens here. You can see the white bar. 15-minute. 15-minute was over here. That's the trend trade.
Hello, you there?
Yeah, you missed the whole thing, man. Come on.
Friend of mine, I haven't heard from him for over a year, and he rang out of the blue. So
Okay. Here's the 5-minute entry. You mark your entry, mark your stop loss, go back to the 1-hour. And where's your exit? You don't have an exit. So this would have given you 83 pips with an add-on and another add-on. So that would give you 120 pips. This is on pound Swiss, which doesn't give you many pips, but 120 pips. Single lot times 10 is $1,200. Pound Swiss, man. Not many people trade this currency. Okay, next one, pound yen. All right, pound yen is an early warning sign. There was no trade on this. Yes, this is coming down, but the weekly and daily are not in the same direction. Pound NZD, here we go. Pound NZD is a short early warning sign. So we find a peak, which happens over here, right? Next bar, drop it down to the H1. Now we are looking for a change in direction or a trend. Okay, change in direction happens here, white bar, right? I do realize that I'm talking about Asian sessions for a lot of these trades, so bear with me. And this is a trend trade, it's very far apart. So ideally you would wait for this, or you trade, go down to the 5-minute. And your 5-minute trade comes in over here, or here, or here. This is better because this is closer together. This is too far apart, but this could be an entry here. So this is your entry. I'll take a wide stop loss, which is this. I can never get in there. There we go. And you look at the H1. Ooh, I hate to say how many pips this was. 265 pips. And you had add-on here, and add-on here, and add-on here, multiple add-on opportunities. That could be an easily 500 pip trade. 500 pips, single lot. This gives you 6 pips, $6 or $7 a pip, $3,500 in 3 days.
Is that trading the 1 hour off the 4 hour?
What's that?
Is it trading the 1 hour off the day or the 4 hour or both?
Now you start from the 4 hour and make sure the daily and weekly are in sequence. Maybe I didn't understand your question. What are you asking?
Sorry?
What are you asking?
No, I didn't. I couldn't make. I missed the start of your presentation, so I wasn't
We always
sure.
start at the 4 hour and make sure that the daily and weekly, are in sequence, right? On the same side. And if that's the case, then we look for a peak on the 4 hour.
Yeah.
And then drop it down.
Yeah.
So, but if this is not in sequence, then you ignore the pair. So I'm going to do the next one. You'll see the full sequence if it's viable. Pound dollar. All right, pound dollar is not on the same side, right? It's all red, but it's not on the same side. We do have a peak. Now, this is not an ideal, but it's an early warning that it's going to turn. And we can take that at the peak. Right? I mean, the peak is here, but this is a mini peak. You go to the H1. And we are looking for a change of direction or a trend trade. In this case, we get a change of direction here. See the white bar. Now we're looking for a trend trade on the 15, or if you want to refine it on the 5, you have to look for a trend. The trend trade happens here. Okay, I can drop it down to the 5 and see I have a good trend trade. This is a peak. So if I wait for a full cycle, then my trend comes in over here. And I take my entry, hit my stop, go back to the one, and where's my exit? My exit is over here. And that gives me 91 pips on the pound dollar. And I had add-ons here, add-on here, 2 add-ons. So that would be like 130, 140 pips, $1,400 in 2 days on a single lot. Next one is the New Zealand yen. All right, New Zealand yen, we have a good trade long. Where is the trough? The trough happens here on the 4 hour, on this bar. You can see that, right?
Yeah.
H1. H1 we're looking for, it's already up here, so we have to look for a new cycle, which happens over here. Go to the 15. And this is a patience part that we have to wait. Now the 15 is up here, so you have to wait for a new cycle. This is not a full cycle. If you take a full cycle, it's over here. And if you notice, if you wait for a full cycle, you get a ball retracement. If you don't take a full cycle, then you come in the middle of a trend. So first entry, it's advisable to take a full cycle. And the 5 refines it over here as your entry. And there's your entry. Again, this is the Asian session trade. Here's your stop loss. And your exit is somewhere in here. 26 pips. Or break even, you could say.
Yeah.
All right, New Zealand dollar. H4. All that work and made no money. Okay, here's a peak right here on this part. Everything's on the same side, right? This was a warning sign, but it wasn't the same color, so you had to wait for this to happen at the end of the 4 hour bar. And that's when the peak happened. So the H1, H1 I have to wait for a trend trade right there. 15-minute. I have to wait for a full cycle, which happens here. And the 5-minute, I can wait for a 5-minute, or it's already in trend. You can barely see, this is the 50 line. And the screen bar is already telling you there's an entry. So here's an entry. Here's a stop loss. Now this was news that drove this wild. Still only a 10 pip stop loss. Then you go to H1, and where's your exit? Exit is over here. And that is a 45 pip trade. And you had add on if you wanted.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we come to the US pairs. So back on the H4.
So if you don't happen to find any pair that the weekly and the daily are in sync, then you move on to the daily and 4 hour in sync.
Yeah, I was going to get to that, but I wanted to finish this first.
Oh, okay.
USD CAD, not in sequence, so you ignore that. I'm talking about beginning of the week. Okay, so
Mhm.
USD Swiss, no. USD Yen, no. And gold is a no. Okay, so like Santiago said, if you don't find a pair that is weekly and daily are in sync, what do you do, right? So now you have a choice. You have to look at the strength of the stochastic. The daily is strong to the downside, right? And the weekly is telling you it's going long to the upside. So this is a sideways pair. As you can see, the market was sideways till it got into sync. So if you have this condition and you're intent on trading gold, you can drop it down to the 1 hour. Beginning of the week, and you look at the 4 hour and daily to come into sync, right? Now here you still have an issue. Where the 4 hour and daily you're going in and out, right? So it's not a clean trade. What if you drop it down to the 15? Now you need the H1 and H4 in sync. Beginning of the week, H4 and H1 in sync, here's a long trade. Here's a short trade, right? Now you come in here, here's a long, and here's a long trade. Same principles. Okay, let's just take this where we want to go. This is an early warning sign because this thick bar is not on the same side, right? So we already had a peak on the 15 or trough, whatever you want to call it.
Valley, call it a valley. You've got peaks and valleys like a mountain.
Okay, valley. I like the trough, but that's a feeding trough, but that's okay.
Okay, I don't mind. Call it whatever you want. I don't mind. It makes no difference to me.
Valley's fine. So we know that the long term is not in sync, but the short term, where the 4 hour and the daily are hourly are in sync. So we can actually drop it down to the 5 and say, okay, I need a trend trade on this, and there's a trend. And I had the peak. Here's the trend. I can even drop it down to the 1 minute if I want to, but that's a little too hard trending for me. So let's take the entry here, the entry here, and now I'm trading the 15-minute cycles. So I'm looking for an exit on the 15-minute, which gives me an exit here. And that's 30 pips. My next cycle is over here. And this is news, obviously. So I have to be careful as to how much my stop loss is going to be. So we're down to the 5. And the 5 full cycle happens over here. So this is way after the news. That's way after trading hours. And 15-minute. Then gives me an exit over here, end of the day, 58 pips. Okay. And then you come in the next day. What do you have? You have a warning sign. You don't have a clean signal. You don't have a clean signal. You don't have a clean signal. The clean signal is short here, right there. Now, it's always good to go back and check the 4 hour just to see if it got into sync. And it didn't. Or the 1 hour. Let's take a quick glance there. 1 hour is awesome. So it's still a 15-minute sync trade. Okay. And just redoing my entries here. Now I'm back on the 5. Okay, and obviously this was news today. So there was no trade today, essentially, because you had to wait for the news. Now, if you really wanted to take a trade, there's no trade. I mean, this is short, this is long, this is sideways market.
What did you get out of that gold trade? You had 2 trades on before I was disturbed on that phone call.
I got 60 pips. I hit my target.
That's really nice trading. That's super
Yeah.
trading.
But I was just following the signals here.
Yeah.
And this was blue at the time.
Yeah.
So, and anything else you want me to show you, or?
No, it's so you're hooking into the 4 hour.
Yeah.
And then working it back down from there, depending on what the 4 hour is showing you.
Right. I mean, like this is a warning. This is not a trade entry, right? But it's a warning that it's trying to go short, right? I mean, it is already going short, but it's trying to go below the 50, right? When it turns below the 50 is the best trade. This is the best time to look for a trade to the short side.
Okay.
In here. This is just telling you that, you know, that might be turning short, and then you can go to your lower time frames and take short trades. That's what that means. Here's a long trade, perfect long trade, right? Everything's in sync. But you can actually, I wouldn't recommend trading in 4 hour. No, that would be too much. But you can do the 1 hour, right? On the 1 hour, you're looking for the daily and H4 to come into sync. Right here. And there's a trade. Right here, there's a trade. And there was no trade today on the pound hour. Well, there's a long trade. And so this was the early warning. There's a peak or valley. And let's do that. Let's take a look at this one. All right, so there's the valley and confirmation of the valley right here. The confirmation actually is on the 15-minute, where you'll see change of direction, which happens somewhere in here. And this is still good, right? This is an early warning. 5-minute. 5-minute, this is a full cycle long, right? I mean, the trend was right here. So the trend trade signal. So there's your entry, there's your stop loss. You're trading the 15, and your exit didn't come till here. And that was like 44 pips. If you're in the US, in the Euro session, you come in over here, you take a look, you're long, right? Everything is good for a long. You don't have a peak till here. This is your confirmation for a peak. And you don't have to wait till the end, but you can see that it's turning up. You go down to the 5, and say, okay, that's my trend.
Yeah.
There's my entry.
Yeah.
Here's my stop. 15-minute. My exit is over here.
Yeah.
26 pips.
Okay.
Or you can take it up to the pivot and just say, I'll take my 20 pips and run. Up to you how you want to do that. But the ideal thing to do is come to at the end of the day. For you, it's midnight, John, so it'd be hard for you to do. And look at the 4 hour, right? This is the daily sections here. And you're looking at it and say, oh, this is getting in trend. Right, there's my trade, sure. And then you come in here and say, okay, no trade today. Right? Every day you can take a look. Like the pound NZD was a big trade, right? So you had a trade short, the continuation short, no trade.
That was a lot cleaner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cleaner because everything was on the same side of the 50.
Yeah.
And then if you look at gold, for example, You come in and say, sideways market.
Yeah.
Here we get into trend right here.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're in trend. And lasts the whole day.
Yeah.
And that's when it spiked up for 200 some pips. Then you come in today and say, no trade. It gives you a very clean look, or one glance to see which pair, right? I mean, my hierarchy is gold, then pound yen, right? Pound yen is warning sign for a short. Then USD yen, same thing, right? And then Swiss yen, same thing. This Swiss yen I shouldn't even have traded today. Then pound NZD, no trade. Then pound Aussie, no trade. Then euro yen, no trade. And I'm looking at today, right?
Yeah.
Euro New Zealand, no trade. Pound CAD, this is a trade that I didn't do properly, but this was a long trade, right?
Right. Yeah.
I should have made 60 pips on that, but I chickened out. Then pound US, no trade. And it's the CAD yen. CAD yen is a short.
Yeah.
It's very, well, I don't know how clear it would have been, but I mean, even if it was on top, the daily with the red here, it was a good enough signal for me to go to the lower time frames.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be different colors like this. Then USD CAD. USD CAD is a long. Didn't go anywhere, but it's giving me a peak now, so it's ready to go long. EuroCAD. EuroCAD was a long. Euro Aussie, no trade. Euro dollar. Euro dollar is a long. See that, right? Right away. Did I cover euro dollar on mine?
I've started looking at that euro dollar properly.
Yeah. Euro dollar today at the beginning of the day told you everything was lining up.
Yeah.
Right. This is at 9 p.m. And then you look at H1. And H1 gave you a trend signal right here, or change of direction right there. And the peak right here, or drop, valley. M15 is already in trend, right?
Yeah.
Everything's looking good. And you drop it down to the 5. And the 5 gave you a trend signal right there. So you could wait for the next full cycle because of the spreads and say, this is your entry right here. Again, this is the Japanese Asian session, but here's your thingy. Now this is the H1. And I'm still in the trade. No exit. All that work for 26 pips. Let's see euro dollar. Does that give you an understanding of how I look at? I mean, Santiago looks at it differently, right? I mean, but that's how I am looking at the system. Santiago, you want to explain how you look at the system?
If you could just say, let's go to one time frame, like the 15-minute, just because it's a time frame. I want to ask something about those setups at the bottom, please.
Okay.
Pound US 15 minutes there, right? Because it's 1 week we trade.
Pound US 15 minutes, okay. And let me just put that in here. This is the daily direction. Again, the direction is the background, whatever the background is. In this case, is the daily. And here's the 4 hour. That's what direction means.
Direction is the day
background.
direction, is it?
The background. the highest time frame.
Okay, I understand that the background is the direction, but the direction on the day, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's the daily, or how the daily price is moving. It's the stochastic, basically.
And the thinner lines in the middle of it are?
This is the 4 hour. 4 hour, 532, and the faster one, 211. So when these two are together, then you have a good sync of the movement. When they are apart like this, there's a warning sign that it's maybe going in the other direction. So you just tighten your stops. And when they're the same color and opposite the 50, there's a warning sign that there is a peak occurring and it's time to look for shorts.
Yeah.
What do you want to ask?
That was it?
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one on the bottom is the 4 hour and the 1 hour, yeah?
Yeah. It's the 4 hour direction with the 1 hour bars. Yeah. So I have the 1 hour, 4 hour daily, and the current time frame is in the squiggly lines. So I have 4 time frames. And then this one is current time frame, 15, and the 5 and 13, and the next higher time frame. So the 15-minute, 5 and 13, when they're in sync. And this is, so the 5 and 15 are in sync, the blue bar. The green bar is when both of the 5 and 13 both cross the 50. So that's the green bar. And to the bullish side. And the white bar is the same, 5 and 13 crossing on the bearish side.
Okay.
Now, sometimes you won't see that because it'll go straight to the 80, and I haven't coded that part, and it's too many colors.
All right. Okay, so this has it streamlined again further.
Yeah, this is something that Santiago has been using, the 211 for a while. I coded this, what, 2 months ago for you, Santiago?
Yeah.
And I just didn't realize the significance of it till we started talking about 2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Right.
And when I started looking at it on the weekend, I actually looked at it on Saturday and Sunday and said, oh, golly, this setup really works.
Okay.
And it's good for direction and for exits, right? I mean, the final exit is here, for example. I know I shouldn't be in the trade. This is giving me an early warning sign that I need to be looking at something. So I can get out here and get back in here, right? When this happens, there's nothing preventing me from getting out. But my 1 hour is still, the 532 is still strong. It's above 50. It's just dipping, right?
Yeah.
If I look at the 1 hour here, we'll mark it up. And this is basically the full hour. You see one line on the 1 hour, but you see the 532 dipping. And you can see 532 dipping.
Right.
The good thing is on this indicator, this is the 80, this is the 50, and this is the 20. So you know exactly where your stochastic is in a histogram form rather than looking at this.
Which is the 50, the 20, what?
The 80, the 50, the 20. Okay.
Okay.
So the 80, the 50, the 20, like that.
Okay. Right. Okay.
This is just the histogram. So when it's above 80, you know it's strong.
All right.
Whereas
Okay.
between the 50 and 80,
I couldn't read that on the screen. Okay. I see now. Yeah. Okay.
when it's between the 50 and 80, then it's strong, but it's not as strong. Obviously, it's cycling, right? And when it's below 20, obviously it's strong. So same thing on the other side, right? So when you see something like this happening, right, where Let me find a better example. Something like this, right? It's not. It's just touching the 80. It's not gone above the 80 yet.
Okay.
This is just saying that it's dipping and then comes back above the 80 right here. So this goes. This is still slightly above 80, then goes below 80. This is the red bars. Then comes back above 80, right? So you'll see this as a cycle on the 4 hour. Because this is a 1 hour chart, right? So this is the 4 hour. It gives you visually what the 4 hour is doing. It doesn't go below the 50, it just cycles. Cycles like the short cycles, like that, right? And then this one went below. Hey, why is it so hard to find? Here, like this cycle. Make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why with 3 time frames represented here and the 4th time frame being the current time frame, when everything goes into sync, you have a good move.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why do you have the daily direction below the weekly direction on the chart?
It's just the way I can put it over there. It doesn't matter. I mean, I want to see the weekly and daily first. Then I look at, I don't want to look down here. This is my first.
I see.
Look.
Okay.
So this I know is strong to the upside. I shouldn't be
Yeah,
taking
sure.
any short trades here.
Yeah.
And as soon as it comes to sync, I should be going long. So
Right.
long. Long. Like that.
So even on the lower time frames, based on what's there, you're still looking for longs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if this is long, why would I be taking a short here?
I'm just asking for clarity, that's all.
I mean, and when it's something like this, it's an early warning sign that the 4 hour, the daily is turning down.
Yeah, sure.
And this is an aggressive short, but you can take that short, right? Because it's all red.
Yeah.
The weekly is already turning. But something like this, there's no trade.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have even been taking pound dollar trades at all today.
Yeah.
Because there's no sync here.
Yeah.
So this is on every time frame, right? And if you look at the 15, I'm looking here for the 4 hour trend and say, okay, what is the 4 hour doing? I mean, the daily and 4 hour, right? If it's in sync, there's my trade. Right? I mean, if I really wanted to trade the 4 hour direction on a 15-minute chart, right? This is the beauty of this. This is where I start looking for longs. And my long happens here, right? Where swing happens, right? And my exit is not till here. And that is a 27 pip trade, but that's based on the 4 hour telling me to exit, not the 1 hour. And that's the 4 hour swing. Am I making sense? Here's where
So on that screen, you're trading the 4 hour on the 15-minute chart.
If you want to. I told you where the exit was on this one. Well, if you wanted to trade the full 4 hour swing, really the 4 hour swing starts here, right? This is starting to turn up.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you get an entry here, like this valley entry, right? You take your entry here and you take your exit here. It all depends on what you want to trade. What do you come to? This is 47 pips with the full 4 hour swing. Make sense? Like here's a swing, right? 4 hour swing starts here. Correct? You see that?
Yeah.
So if I start looking for shorts, and I'm saying all I'm doing is trading a 4 hour swing. Where's my short? My short, first short, if I want a full swing, my short is here, right? This is my short. Full 15-minute swing, right? Where's my exit? My exit is here for the full 4-hour swing, somewhere in here. And that is 70 pips. I have multiple opportunities to take add-ons to maximize that 70 to 100, 120 pips. Of course, when I'm taking an entry here, I'm at break even on this one. And take an entry and take a second entry, I'm break even on the second one. So I'm not risking anything on these first two. Plus, I'm locking in profits. So my risk is still the same when I take any additional trade. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So that is a 4-hour. But then if you're just doing the 1 hour, your exit is over here. You enter here, you exit here. You enter long here, you exit over here. Then you enter short here, and you exit over here. So these are basically taking the chunks of the 4-hour swing and not worrying about the drawdowns, the retracements. That's what this does.
Okay.
If you want a full 4-hour swing, then it's, excuse me, then it's over there. Same thing on the daily. If you want the full daily swing, here's the daily swing. You're still in the trade. Here's a change in direction. Here's your trend. You're still in the trade. There's no exit here. That's why I don't recommend doing the daily swing. I mean, you do the higher time frame swings, you're going to get in trouble. It's better to stay here. This is just to give you your long-term direction. And then match your short-term direction to the long-term. Am I making sense? Am I making sense, John? You there, John?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
You can trade any time frame you want. I mean, you can trade the weekly. Like this is what I'm having my son do now. Is trade the full cycle on the weekly. Get in here, get out here. And I'm not even telling him to get out over here. Get out here. That's the full weekly cycle. Yeah, something in here.
I don't think I see your chart moving.
Ah, you're frozen then.
Yeah, I'm frozen. Let me get back in. I'll leave him to come back in.
Okay. I'm having my son trade the full weekly swing when this matches up, right? Of course, with break-even stops. So when it goes against him, he's not trapped in it. Here's a full weekly swing. There you go. Here to here. $377 pips. I'm having it do it on the daily, of course. I mean,
Right.
Like if you had taken this trade, this would have been, you would still be in the trade 370 pips.
So based on your new system, so can you just take a quick look at gold
On the daily?
on the 15-minute?
Here's the short. And there was no exit. The short. Okay, so there's no short here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're waiting for the news, and here's your short. And you're up 20 pips. Right, this was the news here. So based on that news, you're waiting for a new cycle, which happened here. And you're up 20 pips. Just on the 15, right?
Yeah.
If you said, okay, this is my peak, right? This is my peak, and you drop it down to the 5, and you get a signal over here. There's your entry. You're on 33 pips. Draw down 20 pips. And you're still in the trade, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you wait on the news, let the news do what it needs to do. You wait for a cycle and take the trade. There was no entry over here because the cycle, they didn't give you a cycle till over here. Remember, the first entry is always a full cycle. Now it's changing directions, right? It's changing over here. So you got your 20 pips. If you did multiple lots, you got your 60, 80, whatever pips. Make sense?
Yeah.
You can even do it on the 1 minute.
Sorry?
I said you could do it even on the 1 minute, right? So this is the news. You get a cycle here, get a cycle here, and this is quick stops. 14 pips here, 14 pips there, and then you're long. Long, long. Now you're short again. Short, short, short. 1 minute is basically a scalp.
And what's the thing on the very bottom? What time frames do they represent on the very bottom?
Oh, this is the 1 minute, right? So this is the 5 and 15.
All right, I'm back.
Hey, I didn't put the 15 and 1 on this. I mean, it's simple enough. But I have to put it in manually. Okay. So we left off at the daily trades. What I'm having my son do is basically trade the weekly cycle. So from here, like this is gold, we take a trade here and you still be in the trade for, what is that, 1100 pips? No, 1800 pips. Because the weekly is still blue. And every one of this is a re-entry. And this is a re-entry, an add-on, basically, if you wanted it. But I made it very simple for him to say, I gave him this and said, I didn't give him all this crap. And I said, when it turns blue and this is blue, take a trade. And he would take well, of course, he has to wait for the ball. So he takes the trade here and his exit's over here. And that is 2,800 pips in 3 months. So 2,800, he's trading 5 lots times 10, 50 times 2,800. That's 140,000, right? Something like that. In 3 months, you can take the rest of the year off. Now, of course, on gold, depending on the margin, he won't do 5 lots, probably do 2 lots. That's still $80,000.
Okay, all right. It's coming up to.
Huh?
It's just coming up to 2:30 here in the afternoon, so I'm going to have to pack it in and go start getting dinner ready. But we have another session tomorrow at the same time.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I did this for the record, the explanation.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm not going to go through this. Hopefully, I don't have to go through this again.
Okay.
Santiago, do you have anything to add to that?
No, you pretty much explained it.
Okay.
All right then.
All right then. See you all later.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Million. Thanks again.
All right, take it easy.
Bye.